Okay, so this is part three on Mr. Elon Musk. I'm really tired, and it's still November 18th, 2023, and I decided to prompt myself up a little bit here. I'm just really tired, I'm gonna finish, and so the camera's facing a little bit different. But anyway, I want to finish telling you as much as I can. Um, I left off with part two is saying, imagine being at a place, your home where you domicile at, and a lab experience, AI, lab experiments, AI connected to the United States military and Navy, or in the United States military, Navy, and other military branches, and the police have been stalking you, where they have studied your thoughts because the military, the police have the science to study thoughts, sound, manipulate thoughts, plant thoughts. They can use themselves to materialize and dematerialize, move objects. Therefore, they can definitely invade your body and have sex or penetrate your vagina or your anus or any other parts of your body. Ejaculate while they have invaded different parts of your body sheets. So they've been stalking you, studying your thoughts, your behavior, so that then they can replicate your inner voice and therefore plant their thoughts into your mind. So while you demonstrating and you're learning spirituality, or I'm learning spirituality because I'm a more, and it's destined for me to grow spiritually, that which owns them and controls them have them deliberately set up to invade and engage towards those that are able to expand spiritually and mentally, raise their frequency. So if an unclean, unnatural spirit, black, Negro, African American, male and female, or that which speaks Spanish or pale skin, collaborating, saying three, Mason, stalking the room, watching, and then creating different false realities of why they should be there. Why are they even in the room watching? And they're connected to the military, the Navy, the Army, and other military branches and the police. That's unnaturalized. And then they start to plot thoughts. So usually as human behavior, you do the same thing, sometimes the same way. You have a thought process. You have a different characteristic or personality about yourself. So the Navy and Army, they have studied these things. The police, they study these things. They're supposed to. But instead of them using these studies to help catch criminals or go overseas to defend the inhabitants on this landmass, they're being used as weapons and terrorists upon the inhabitants here on this landmass who seek freedom, actual freedom, freedom of the mind, freedom of your body, your physical body, health. So they're being used as terrorists upon the inhabitants on this landmass to keep their minds subjugated. And then also to breed a whole new different being, human being, humankind, mankind, a lab freak, or even make them and make more AI, make the extraordinary artificial intelligence, the extraordinary kid or child, by combining and manipulating different types of genes and DNA. That's what we are among in Annapolis. Mr. Elon Musk, I'm not. And so what I'm trying to get at is the words of freedom. So, um, let me just start. So that's 5 minutes. I'm going to tell you some of the things I've experienced. I know that the military and that which is connected to it, or this, whatever, or other scientists that create it, can use, oh, excuse me, African Americans, male and female, to follow AI, follow you, while they are actually dematerializing and talking and move objects while they have dematerialized. They have perfected this science. So if this beast that is stalking you, doing this all the time, plotting, watch your thoughts, study your mind, those that speak Spanish from Mexico, South Central America, along with the black Negro, the immigrant would be one of the most prime example of weapons because it's an immigrant. And if it's an immigrant that's already been changed to a lab experiment, it's going to do what it's told to do anyway. But that's the same with any lab experiment or AI. So they've been watching, studying your thoughts, and then they start plotting thoughts. And then when they want to, like I've seen so many in Annapolis, hold on, I'll show you. Annapolis residents or people in Annapolis grab a phone and start that's connected to the military. A lot of them connected to the military or police. Grab their phone, and this is part 3, by the way, and start look like pressing buttons. And all of a sudden, I would feel on my body sheath some type of mongoloid or black, predominantly mongoloid or black Negro energy upon me. I can feel something on me, like causing pressure on my bladder, or all of a sudden my vagina might secrete excretion, like something actually possibly ejaculated in my body sheath. Or I feel pain around my cranium. And I can see spiritually, when I shine my light and just pay attention, I can see what it is. Or all of a sudden I feel something like moisture around my eye, like something is spitting in my eye. Or all of a sudden I might start doing like this. A lot of times when the black Negro male and female start grabbing their phone, not just them, but predominantly, or those that are pale skins that say 3 and Mason, they grab their phone. All of a sudden I might do this. You can't really see, but my body is shaking. My sheets are shaking. So many times mentally, those that plot thoughts say, brother paid. Or I've had those that look to be black, Negro, African American, that's with Navy emblems, look at me and I see a visual look like my mom. And I hear, I've heard telepathic thoughts of the black Negro male saying, we raped, or we killed your mother, and we're going to kill you too. And I experienced thoughts of what happened to her. And this is while that looks to be that's wearing a Navy shirt or in the military looking at me. I've seen visuals of those that look like some of the customers that come into Burger King that look similar. Like the one is a black Negro male, similar, not saying it's him, name that drives the truck, SGT Army. One time, not more than one time, I have laid in the bed and it felt like something was pulling on the cover, or moving the cover, and I saw this visual that looked like SGT Army. the black Negro, excuse me, I don't know if he claimed a nationality, but he drives vehicles that have the word army on his license plate. He's a regular. I've demonstrated and talked about him before. I'm not saying this is him. I said that he's the black male that would during COVID, he was like put the straw in my hand. I mean, he was like, I was trying to do what I was told to do. He's been coming to Burger King. It was during COVID. He knew that we are not supposed to touch his hand, but he was like trying to grab the straw in my hand aggressively. And this is a man that represents the army. And he's not a skinny male. He is a male that's muscular and tall. But the visual, I'm saying it looks similar to him. And or other males that imply that look similar to those that are connected to the military. Black males predominantly. I started to see a visual when I first came to Annapolis. The first experience was I was lying here in this bed with my dreams, and this black Negro male, or it definitely, the energy was of definitely a black Negro male, and he had a black bag over his head, trying to enter my vagina. I was sleeping in a dream. And this is when predominantly black Negro females, African American females, were saying he FUCKU. And it's interesting because I really started to have a lot of problems with Burger King, with the managers at Burger King, especially Phyllis. I mean, she kept saying I was scared of something. I'm like, scared of what? I'm not scared of you. What are you talking about? I'm at Burger King. She would start saying stuff like that. And I didn't understand why she would say stuff like that. I'm not saying that she's involved, but I'm saying this is the sequence of events. I mean, really, she just really, especially with the regular customers that will wear emblems that had veteran, army will be in there. And then she would just really be very disrespectful towards me in front of them, as though trying to demonstrate I'm less than they are, for whatever reason. So it's like, I'm going to degrade her in front of these males that are African American that seem to imply to represent the Navy, the Army, the military. I'm going to degrade her in front of them purposely. That's how I experienced it so many times, and it'd be like a burst of anger out of nowhere. Hold on, I'm trying to get uncomfortable. And then James and Phyllis, or predominantly, they would start clocking me out, saying force clocking me out, cutting, which cut my hours. James is a black African American male, Phyllis too, and I didn't know either one of them were connected to the military. For years, I had no idea, and I wouldn't care if I did know. And I always say this because as more as we're taught to respect the military because they're supposed to be protectorates, while we reclaim our actual freedom. But how can a terrorist be a protectorate of anything? It's created to terrorize, if that's the agenda. It's created to terrorize, and when you terrorize, that includes rape, molestation, and murder. Okay. So apologize. Face is looking a little chubby, but because of the camera, I'm trying to get comfortable. I just got through eating vegan nuggets, and I supposed to not be eating them because I supposed to only be eating raw fruits and vegetables, and that's the goal. But I relapsed today, yesterday, and the day before that on mushrooms too. and where we use the air fryer. So now I'm going to probably regret it because I'm going to be too full to exercise tomorrow, possibly. I don't know. I'm going to try my best. So I didn't know that the military can use different sciences to allow someone to follow you. While you walking, you hearing the same African and black, Negro, male, and female accents. And they're saying, she love your son. Or the Spanish male accent saying brother, as though it has an authority to give you away. From Mexico, South Central America, like it has some type of authority to give you away to some type of black, Negro, male, or pale skin. I've seen so many people in Annapolis be like, we got it, that's us, as they're looking at me. We got it, that's us. Why are they saying it like that? And why are they looking at me? You got what? So if you are doing, if so, once again, when after that situation happened the first time about this is the first dream of my genitals being manipulated, and you had others paying attention in a sex ritual, because this is normal for you to do. You a lab experiment, AI, and you have been used to steal money for Annapolis or Maryland state government or other states. You're gonna feel it's your right, and especially if you keep saying I paid, or you trying to convince people that the person that you raped, especially if there's also, I've heard them say she liked it, and look at me, she liked it. So especially if you're trying to reprogram someone's mind so that you can use the mind and the body any way you please. You will start behaving in a manner that will be more force engaging on the physical plane. So the visual, I've seen many visuals of people that looked like they come to Burger King. Like this another visual I saw that looked like this Mexican girl, not the Naomi that I work with today, but another one who used to work there. I haven't seen her there in a while, or her brother working there. But one time I saw a visual that looked like her, but maybe not her. Definitely, well, I'm not gonna say definitely, but it looked like her. Let me just say that. That's more honest. It looks similar, of her having sex with this mongoloid demon from South Central America, or probably Mexico. Look like some type of bird, or I've heard like the feedback saying that's the bird man, and she was having sex with. It was a visual as though they wanted me to see her having sex, and then all of a sudden I felt pressure, like something was trying to make my genitals have an orgasm at the same time, but I was awake. This happened with that this here in Annapolis, in this room. This happened with that visual of the girl. Naomi is someone who I started working with. She was probably about 17, and through the years, and now she's probably like 21, 22. I'm not sure. But I'm not saying, once again, it's her. It looks similar to her. Her parents are from Mexico, but she said she was born here. So the visual was as though she was not she, excuse me, the person that looked similar to her, the best description, was having sex on. She was on top of a mongoloid bird man. And then I was hearing Spanish male accents around the room. and I felt pressure on my genitals. Then I've had other visual of African American black males that looked similar. One looked so similar to a police detective that would come into Burger King, and he would sometimes look towards my way in an odd way, looked similar. And I felt his, like, the presence on me, like trying to make me feel as though I would want to be connected to him. It looked similar. I'm not saying it was him, but he's a police detective. Used to be. I don't know if he still is anymore. Another experience I had was of a black female who looked similar to a black female that comes into Burger King and knows Phyllis personally, because they have these conversations. They're like, hi, and they give one another, look like they imply they've been knowing each other for a long time, because Phyllis usually sometimes put their food under her number. That means they don't pay for their food. She pays for it. It looks, the visual looks similar to her, light skinned, on top of a black male, having sex. And then all of a sudden I felt pressure on my genitals. So the question is, why would this experience be happening? Unless you're trying to prepare someone for sex trafficking. So the military that's unnaturalized are able to do such things. They are able to go back and see what happened, the police, what happened with my mother, my childhood, different aspects of my childhood, anything I've done that was embarrassing as a young adult, teenager. I had so many times plotted thoughts of me when I was a young teenager, and some of the things were not very I'm not very proud of, but I mean I learned and I've grown and moved forward. But I've had plotted thoughts and visuals or whatever of that, especially when I started to document about the military and their odd behavior, as though they're like a forced plotted thought to bring my thought process down, and then all of a sudden I would feel a forced engagement of a black Negro male saying brother. I'm saying, Mr. Elon Musk, these are sciences that the United States military, Navy, Army, and other military branches and the police in Annapolis have specialized in. And average citizens, lab experiments, AI are able to do these things. So if you are a woman, I'm trying to get comfortable. This is what happens when you don't read. So if you are a woman and you are being afflicted, so what would stop them from pimping a woman and her children who feels that there's no hope, or pimping a young man? I am not racist towards anyone. I'm speaking truth about a beings or unclean spirits that we are among. You can't, I mean, there's no such thing in my thought process of being racist when you are trying to protect yourself and your being. So if anything has to be forced, I know that something is wrong with it, because this is I am in the spirits of freedom. And if the black Negro male and female has to keep saying we paid, those that speak Spanish, and they seem to be connected to the military, Navy and Army, they keep saying I paid, and on a landmass where supposedly many have died and bled for freedom, what does that say? I'm telling you, Mr. Elon Musk, they don't care here. So I can see how something like in San Francisco, You tweeted a city, San Francisco, the city part of San Francisco, how it looks. I can see how that could happen. It started somewhere. Here you have a large population that speaks Spanish from South Central America and Mexico, pale skin, Black African Americans. You have those from India, Pakistan, from China, Japan. And all of them, or predominantly, are involved in a circulation of criminal activity. A lot of them are. In reference to these lab experiments in AI and sex trafficking and what they're able to do, because they can see. They see the beast following or in the room. They hear them I'm pretty sure they hear them in the room because they're involved in it. So something like San Francisco is definitely a possibility anywhere. And I can see how it didn't happen overnight, but it didn't take long for it to happen. I think you said downtown San Francisco, zombies. At Burger King, so many times, now I'm just going to show you a collaboration. And I stopped saying anything about it. I used to tell the managers or say something to the coworkers when they would grab fries with their hand and be putting it in the customer's carton, or taking fries out the carton with their hand, or taking fries off the outer edge of the counter and put them back in the bin where the fries go into the cartons for the customers. I used to say something like, don't do that. Or I thought you were supposed to wear gloves to the cooks or stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. They do it in front of the people, the customers. The customers are watching them put their hands. They see them going from the cashier, whatever. They see, and they don't say anything. So why should I? I've said things to. I thought that was not sanitary. Now, I think it was Hamima making jokes saying I wash my hands too much. So, I don't know. I mean, if the customers are not complaining about it, and they seem to know one another, Burger King employees and the customers, they know one another. Once again, the customers are predominantly from South Central America, Mexico, the United States Navy, Army, different military branches, the police, African American, Black, Negro, pale skin. Why? I think I even had Phyllis correct me in a rude manner when I spoke to her about Hamima doing this one time, and I said I'm not gonna do it no more. So I've seen Mindy put the hand. I just throw in the basket. I mean the thing I don't. Usually if I put my hand, I try my best. If I touch a fry, I try to use the tongs, get the fry, and throw it away. And I say trash. I try not. If I touch the customer's food, even though I sanitize, I try my best not to. But the delivery be, and the customers are watching. It's like a community. Like, I mean, they're not looking here, looking there. They're watching. So it's like a community communion. I'm not, it's like I'm going to stay out of that. Islam. Imani and I don't know any one person here in Annapolis. We never implied we want to know any one person here in Annapolis. Never. But I can guarantee there has been collaboration in some form. Not all, but too many, in reference to that which speak Spanish immigrants being used to start the room and causing money to make noise. I can guarantee that too many, not all, military males are having sex with these immigrant males from South Central America, Mexico, and other places, whether they're from Pakistan, India, whatever. I can guarantee not all, but too many African American, pale skin, and those immigrants are having sex together. Santeria and Mason. and that mental growth through using the different sciences with the telepathic code. And I can guarantee not all, but way too many are in sex trafficking, stealing, especially with the children. Islam.